We're looking here together at the start of Unit 2. So Unit 2 is going to introduce us and discuss a little bit farther in detail what they term the power of design. So as you start the unit, make sure you look at the activities you're going to complete and kind of the objectives. For me, it kind of ties together or tells me, why am I doing some of the things I'm doing in the unit? And I think that's a good thing to do. The first section, like it in each unit, is going to be the readings and the resources. So there's some articles that you're going to look at, much like Unit 1. But I should have mentioned this in Unit 1. A lot of times, your first unit or so in any course is going to be more of the foundational information. So as you keep going, and this is a course where this is the case, so I think it's if you learn like I do, it's a good thing. As we keep going, you're going to see for more and more videos are utilized in different spots. So depending on the unit, there might be one, as in this case, but in future modules there or units, there are even more of these. So that helps me in my comprehension, and it just gives some variety in the types of information resources that you have. So if for each of these, it kind of talks about why we got to look at this article. Why do we want to take away from it? So look through the resources there. Again, we do get a variety instrument here in the video, and just gives us some motivation, I think, if nothing else, and why we need to do things such as they mention here about thinking big. And then if you want to add some information in certain areas, this is supplemental resources. So these are particularly useful if you read something up here and you say, well, I wish that I had a little bit more information on it. Then these are some resources that we found just to provide you with. And there's many more out there, right? You can have many other options there that you can find on your own, but we just provide you with some. So then we come down just like in each unit. So the discussion board here, here's our prompt for what we need to talk about. Is related to innovation, and I'll let you read through the rest of it there. But the key is, once again, make your original post and then read some of your peers' posts and make some responses. And the hope there is that I think you learn as much from each other as you do from an article or even as you do from an instructor. So you can share experiences that you've had or information or exposure to information that you've had along the way that's going to help each other. So that's the discussion board. The assignment here, well, it says in this assignment, you're going to explore a design thinking scenario as a tool supporting the process of resolving challenging organizational issues. Right, so we try to bring in some things, unfortunately, when you go out to practice, you're going to have times that are challenging or issues that your organization is facing that could be considered challenging. Here's a good more detail on it is in the assignment. So if you open that up, again, it just gives you the details. And I like to look at, how's my work going to be evaluated? And this is where you can go down and look at that in the rubric. So, just make sure that you're following the guidelines there, and to make sure that your work is professional in appearance, use APA, that type of thing. And then this is your weekly journal. It says, based on what you read in the unit, what are some best practices for virtual team collaboration? So it kind of brings in another element, right? Very timely element. More and more teams are meeting virtually and working together on a virtual basis. So there's some benefits to that. So how can we make sure that we use some good practices to do that? I did have a question I'll just mention here. Somebody said, well, is the weekly journal just basically where I put my notes in? Well, that might be part of it, but you really want to make sure that you address this prompt in each unit. So the weekly journal is more than just saying, here's my, what I did this week. You still want to make sure that you're addressing the prompt in each of the weeks. And then the way the weekly journal is going to be graded, it gets graded at the end. So I'll go in and look at what everybody's contributed. What I'm looking at for there is, are you addressing the prompt? Meaning, are you tailoring it to what you need to for each unit? And then, what support are you providing? What kind of details did you look at? What is your thought process? Those types of things. There's no absolute correct answer in a weekly journal, but those are some of the things that I'm looking at as you go through that part of it. So hopefully that'll help you as well. So that's a look at the unit 2 as far as how you should progress through it and the activities that we want to make sure that you complete by the end. So I hope you have a great week, and I look forward to hearing from you as you have questions. And thank you for your time.